Pang Tong was startled when he heard the man's voice. He turned around quickly and saw, to his relief, that it was his old friend Su Shu. After making sure no one else was nearby, Pang Tong whispered, "If you expose my plan, the lives of the people in the 81 prefectures south of the river will all be lost because of you." Su Shu smiled. "And what about the lives of the 830,000 men in Cao Cao's army?" Pang Tong frowned. "Yuanji, your courtesy name. Are you here to ruin my strategy?" Su Shu sighed. "I owe Uncle Liu Bei a great debt, and I've always wanted to repay him. But since Cao Cao forced my mother's death, I swore never to offer counsel again. I would never destroy your plan. Yet I am with Chao's army. If it is defeated, I too will die. Teach me how to escape safely, and I will never reveal a word, disappearing far from here." Pang Tong smiled. "You are wise enough. That's not hard." He leaned close and whispered a few words. Su Shu's eyes lit up with joy. He bowed deeply and thanked him. They parted ways. Pang Tong returned to Jiangdong, and Su Shu carried out the plan. That night, Su Shu secretly sent men to spread rumors throughout the camps. By the next morning, soldiers in every division were whispering in groups. Soon, someone reported to Cao Cao, "There are rumors that the warlords Han Sui and Ma Teng of Xiliang have rebelled and are marching toward Xuchang." Cao Cao was alarmed and summoned his advisors. "When I came south, my greatest worry was Han Sui and Ma Teng. Even if the rumor is false, I cannot ignore it." Before he finished speaking, Su Shu stepped forward. "The Chancellor has treated me kindly. I wish to serve with loyalty. Grant me 3,000 troops, and I will guard the strategic pass at San Pass. If trouble arises, I'll send word immediately." Cao Cao was delighted. "If Yuanji goes, I am at ease." He ordered Zhang Ba to lead the vanguard and accompany him with 3,000 infantry. Su Shu bade farewell and left with Zhang Ba, exactly according to Pang Tong's rescue plan. A later poem praised this moment. Cao Cao marched south anxious each day. Han Sui and Ma Teng raised their blades to slay. One phrase from the phoenix chick saved Su Shu's life. Like a fish freed from the fisherman's knife. After Su Shu's departure, Cao Cao felt somewhat reassured. One day he rode along the riverbank to inspect the land camps, then boarded his great flagship to survey the fleet. A massive banner bearing the character Commander fluttered high on the central ship, surrounded by countless warships and soldiers like clouds of steel. It was the 15th day of the 11th month in the 12th year of Jianan. The weather was clear, and the Yangtze lay calm and smooth. In high spirits, Cao Cao ordered a grand banquet aboard his flagship. As night fell, a bright moon rose above the eastern hills, shining like daylight upon the vast river. The Yangtze stretched out like a silver ribbon. Seated at the center of the ship, surrounded by hundreds of armored attendants and officials in full regalia, Cao Cao admired the southern mountains, the east toward Chaisang, the west toward Xiakou, and the north toward Wulin. Pride swelled in his chest. Raising his cup, he laughed. "Since I first took up arms to rid the empire of traitors, I have vowed to bring peace to all under heaven. Only the south remains unconquered. Now, with 1,000,000 troops and your loyal service, the world will soon be united. Once I pacify Jiangnan, peace will prevail, and we shall share wealth and glory together." Everyone cheered and toasted him. The music played, and the wine flowed freely. By midnight, Cao Cao was thoroughly drunk. Pointing south, he laughed loudly. "Zhou Yu and Lu Su know nothing of heaven's will. Someone has already defected to us. This will throw their camp into chaos. Heaven helps me indeed." Sun Yu quietly warned, "My lord, such words are best kept private." Cao Cao laughed. "All here are my confidants. What's there to fear?" He then pointed westward toward Xiakou. And as for Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang, they think to shake Mount Tai with the strength of ants. Utter folly. Then, chuckling again, he added, I am 54 years old this year. If I can conquer Jiangnan, I have one last wish. Old Qiao had 2 daughters of unmatched beauty, yet they married Sun Tzu and Zhou Yu. I've built a bronze sparrow terrace on the Zhang River. When Jiangnan is mine, I will invite the 2 Qiaos to dwell there with me in my old age. What more could I desire? The officers looked at one another in uneasy silence, while Cao Cao roared with laughter. Later, the Tang poet Du Mu wrote in reflection, broken spears sink deep in the sand, yet iron remains. Washed clean, revealing tales of former reigns. If the east wind had not favored young Zhou Yu, the bronze sparrow tower would lock the Qiaos anew. In the midst of laughter, a sudden flock of crows flew southward, cawing loudly. Cao Cao asked, Why do crows cry in the night? An attendant replied, They see the bright moon and mistake it for dawn. Cao Cao laughed again. He drew his spear, poured 3 cups of wine into the river, and recited his poem aloud. Facing wine I sing. How brief is life. Like morning dew, days fade away. With passion I lament, my thoughts unending. What dispels sorrow? Only dukong. The officers joined in chorus. Their voices echoed magnificently. But suddenly, one man rose and said, With 2 armies facing each other, how can your excellency utter such ominous words? Cao Cao turned to look. It was Lu Fu, the inspector of Yangzhou. Lu Fu continued, In your verse you spoke, the moon is bright, the stars are few. The crows fly south, circling the trees thrice, finding no branch to rest. These are inauspicious omens. Drunk and enraged, Cao Cao shouted, How dare you spoil my mood? He thrust his spear forward. Lu Fu fell dead on the spot. The banquet ended in shock and silence. The next day, Cao Cao sobered up and was filled with remorse. Lu Fu's son Lu Shi came to request his father's body. Cao Cao wept, saying, I killed your father by mistake while drunk. My regret is endless. Bury him with honors fit for a grand minister. He ordered troops to escort the coffin home. A day later, Mao Jie and Eugene reported, The ships, flags, and weapons are ready. Please give the order to advance. Cao Cao boarded his flagship and assigned banners for each division. For the Navy, Mao Jie and Eugene led the Central Fleet under yellow banners. Zhang He led the red-bannered front, Lu Qian the black rear, Wen Pin commanded the blue left, Lu Tong the white right. For the Land Army, Su Huang led the red front, Li Dian the black rear, Eugene the blue left, Xiahou Yuan the white right. Xiahou Dun and Chao Hong were to coordinate the land and naval forces, while Su Chu and Zhang Liao oversaw discipline and defense. At the sound of 3 drum beats, the ship set sail. A strong northwest wind blew, and the fleet advanced swiftly, sails full and steady. Cao Cao stood on the command tower, satisfied. He thought, by chaining these ships together, victory is assured. Cheng Yu advised, the formation is stable, but if the enemy uses fire attacks, it will be hard to defend. Cao Cao laughed. It is deep winter. Only the northwest wind blows. Where would an east or south wind come from? If they use fire, they'll burn themselves first. There's nothing to fear. All the generals praised his insight, bowing in admiration. Then 2 northern officers, Jiao Chu and Zhang Nan, stepped forward. Though we are northerners, we can fight on water. Lend us 20 small boats to capture some of the southern banners and show our northern valor. Cao Cao smiled. The southern troops are skilled on water. You might die for nothing. They insisted. If we fail, we'll accept death by military law. Cao Cao finally agreed and granted them 20 small boats and 500 men, ordering Wen Pin to take 30 ships to support them on the river. At dawn the next day, Jiao Chu and Zhang Nan sailed boldly toward the southern bank. Hearing the enemy drums, Zhou Yu climbed a high post to observe. The river swarmed with enemy ships. "Who will go first?" he asked. Han Dang and Zhou Tai volunteered, each leading 5 small boats forward. Jiao Chu's boat arrived first, loosing a hail of arrows. Han Dang blocked with his shield, leapt forward, and pierced Jiao Chu through the chest with one thrust. Seeing this, Zhang Nan charged, but Zhou Tai leapt aboard his boat and cleaved him into the river. The northern troops panicked and fled. Han Dang and Zhou Tai pursued until they met Wen Pin's reinforcements, and a fierce battle followed. From a mountaintop, Zhou Yu saw Wen Pin retreating and sounded the gong to recall his men. Turning his gaze north, Zhou Yu saw that Cao Cao's ships crowded the river like reeds. "This enemy is cunning," he murmured. "What strategy can defeat them?" Before anyone could answer, a gust tore through the sky. Cao Cao's central flagship's yellow banner snapped and fell into the river. Zhou Yu laughed, an omen of misfortune for them. But at that moment, the wind roared wildly and waves surged. The fluttering edge of a flag struck Zhou Yu's face. He suddenly froze, coughed blood, and collapsed unconscious. His officers rushed to help, but he did not respond. A poem says, "Laughing one moment, crying the next." How could the South yet break the North? To know Zhou Yu's fate, we must wait for the next chapter. Summary. This chapter covers several key events. Pang Tong's clever rescue of Su Shu, Cao Cao's drunken banquet, and his boast about the two Qiaos, the first naval maneuvers of the Northern Army, and Zhou Yu's sudden illness foretelling the Battle of Red Cliff. Pang Tong's strategy frees Su Shu from danger. Cao Cao's arrogance leads him to kill the loyal Lu Fu while drunk and to underestimate nature itself. Believing winter winds will never shift, he ignores Qing Yu's warning about fire attacks. Meanwhile, Zhou Yu witnesses the enemy's massive fleet, and when a sudden wind breaks Cao Cao's flag, he senses heavens will changing. His collapse foreshadows the coming reversal of fortune. The wind will soon turn, favoring the south. Knowledge points. 1. The story of Pang Tong saving Su Shu is fictional. Historical records and records of the Three Kingdoms, Sengguozi, make no mention of such a meeting. Su Shu, styled Yuanji, truly served Cao Cao, but kept his oath never to strategize after his mother's death, disappearing from history thereafter. 2. Cao Cao's talk of capturing the two Qiaos and bringing them to the Bronze Sparrow Terrace symbolizes his arrogance and lust in the novel. Historically, the Bronze Sparrow Terrace was a memorial and cultural site, not a pleasure palace. The two Qiaos, wives of Sun Ce and Zhou Yu, were in Jiangdong and never met Cao Cao. 3. The poem short song style, Duan Guxing, is genuinely Cao Cao's work, though not connected to the eve of Red Cliff as the novel depicts. 4. Zhou Yu's fainting after the broken flag and sudden wind is a dramatic embellishment. In reality, no record exists of him falling ill from such an omen. The scene symbolically signals that heaven's favor, and the wind, are about to turn against Cao Cao.